Sprinkler systems are wonderful additions to any landscape, but they do require maintenance. There are things you can do. Bill Jensen with Norway Irrigation, my go-to guy for anything that deals with sprinkler systems, gives us some tips. Visiting with my longtime friend Bill Jensen, Norway Irrigation, serving Dallas, Fort Worth. Bill is the expert. He's the guy that knows more than anybody I know about sprinkler irrigation. Bill, responsible irrigation is a really critical issue, isn't it?
Absolutely, especially this time of year with our watering problems that we're having. Everybody should have a good operating system that waters the way it should be and not wastewater.
How do we find a good contractor? What do you know? When you get bids vary a good bit in price.
Well, the absolute best way to go is to the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality. Every irrigator in Texas has to be licensed, and they have a list of who is licensed and who is not. So that's your first place to start. Better Business Bureau is always a good idea.
Friends who are happy.
Friends that are happy are the best.
Yeah.
Referrals are always the best, because not only do you know what they're going to do when they're there, but how they're going to take care of the system.
How long have you been doing this?
I've been in the industry for over 40 years.
Yeah, and so a lot of referrals come that way.
A lot of
I know
referrals.
That's great. And this is not the place to cut costs. That sprinkler system that costs just a little bit more may cost a lot less in maintenance.
Absolutely. In the long run, it will cost tons more, because a qualified irrigation person works with landscapers, and they know what plant material will do when it matures. You know, a system that is less costly may cover for the first year, but as those plant materials mature, you're going to start having coverage issues. So, yes.
All right, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the repairs that homeowners can make. Cleaning heads is a very easy thing to do. No point in calling you guys out for that.
I don't think so. It's a matter of unscrewing a nozzle and screwing it back on, and then it's ready to go. Once you've identified the head that's clogged, you've turned your sprinkler system off, you go back to the nozzle and you want to start unclogging it. To unclog it, all you do is unscrew the nozzle from the stem, remove whatever debris is in the head. I like to take the nozzle and knock it against some concrete to get any little dirt or sand in it, and then just screw the nozzle back on. Once you get the nozzle on, you just take and ratchet it around like so to get it spraying in the right direction. Most of the nozzles will have a little arrow on it showing you which way it should spray. A lot of the times the heads won't be spraying in the right direction, so what you can do as a homeowner is come out, turn them on, look at them, and most heads today are on a ratchet. So all you have to do is take hold of the stem and you can just turn it, just like that, and that will put them back into adjustment the way that they need to be. What you need to do is you need to water as deep and less often as possible. So try to get the root structures moist and wet like it needs to be. Typically you want to water your sprinkler so you're putting down about an inch of water a week on your landscape. And that's just, you know, there are controllers out there called the Smart Line controllers that does this for you automatically. The nice thing about the smart controllers is that it's programmed to put out the inch to inch and a half of water per week based on the heat, humidity, and plant type. One day it may only water for 3 minutes. The next day, because it's been hot and dry for the days in between, it may water for 15 minutes.
Or so it may stay off for a week?
It may stay off for a week because it knows that it doesn't need it. And what I recommend is everybody should have their sprinkler system looked at by a professional once a year. And I typically tell people do it in February or March before we really start rolling on the season, and just let them make sure that there's no breaks in the lines, that the heads don't need to be adjusted because of new plant material and things like that.
Sure. Bill Jensen is with Norway Irrigation, my friend and my advertiser for many, many years, and my sprinkler guy. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Neil.
Coming up in just a moment, we're going to go back to Clark Gardens and Mineral Wells. Always fun to visit. Stephen Chambly will take us past their lakes and also a lot more.